Hey everyone, it's Armor Gaming. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Monster Legends. Welcome to one of my favorite videos to make. This is the kind of video where we go over the top monsters in the previous Cosmic Tournament. So with this information, this concludes Cosmic Tournament 12. Huge shout out once again to Monster Legends Competitive Wiki for providing this information. I love when there is actual data to back up all the monsters that are used. So basically, for those of you that are unfamiliar, I will leave a link to Monster Legends Competitive Wiki in the description below. But basically, they go through the top monsters, or the top players, all 100 of them, and they look at what monsters are being used for offense and for defense. And by doing that, we're able to figure out who are the most used monsters, which is a pretty good substitute for the best monsters, right? Because for PvP, the most used monsters are going to be the best monsters. So I want to start off by pointing this out. The ratio of players with pay-to-pay monsters as opposed to none this end season were 91 to 9. So that basically means that 91% of the players in the top 100 are spenders and 9% are not spenders, so they're free to play. At the same time, we can't really make that conclusion though, because there's no way of really telling if they spend on other parts of the game. Like, there's no way of knowing whether or not they buy a gem pack, whether they buy runes. All this shows us is that, you know, when you look at a player's profile, you can look at their top monsters. There's no golden pass monsters and there's no exclusive pass monsters. And honestly, nowadays, because the golden pass monster is actually breedable, you know, if it's the Hacksmith or if it's the Dew, you can't even tell if the player purchased it or not. So take that with a grain of salt. But over 90% are spenders confirmed. All right, with that being said, the heavies, we're going to start with this. And I am predicting Shelly. Again, in a previous video, a lot of Bombeta, like in a previous video, Bombeta was like #1 for a while, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. A lot of players seem to think it made sense because Bombeta is easier to get. But again, just look at this. The top players are spenders, so most of the players have Shelly. So to me, it makes sense that Shelly would dominate. So I'm saying Shelly, Bombeta, and Crowdcrawler. I think by the end of Cosmic Tournament 12, Crowdcrawler was out. So I think those three monsters might dominate the top. I think it's still going to be Fontbead Austral in the top as well, and likely Linworm as well. I think Tabora is kind of moving down on the list. I think Super Fox might be a monster we see in the toughies or the mids. So that's it. Let's see if I'm right or not right. So scrolling down, and yes, we do have Shelly in #1 spot. Shelly, 41 on offense, 33 on defense, in total 74, the most dominant monster in the game. I recently got my Shelly. She is incredible, or he is incredible. Whatever Shelly is a beast. Shelly is super powerful. I mean, it makes sense. Used on offense, used on defense, total 74. Next up, we have Fontbead Austral, 22 on offense, 50 on defense, 72 in total. Honestly, in my personal opinion, I don't think this is a good defense monster. I think it's easy enough where you can bring a Hardy or any anticipation monster, even Chucklemuckle, and you can really damper Fontbead Austral on defense. She's never been a threat to me. I use her for offense. I think she's phenomenal on offense. Even when there's an enemy Hardy, it doesn't even matter because, you know, typically if there's a Hardy Megaton base, I'm able to do the Reaper to get rid of Megatons, and then I can total blind him, I can apply dots on him, and it's not a problem. So I'm actually a little surprised that this monster is used more so on defense than on offense. Let's see what else we have. Bombeta, of course, Bombeta. And wow, look at that drastic drop, 57. So 27 on offense and 30 on defense. So Shelly is the best offense monster from what we can see right now, 41 uses. But yeah, of course, Bombeta has a good usage ratio as well. Bombeta could also be used in a double Megaton base, so definitely high usage there. And we have Linworm, so there we go. The top 4 monsters. 3 of them are dark. Yeah, 3 of them are dark, and that is it. There is no more monster that is used more than 40 times. So Tabora has lost her use. Or maybe I shouldn't say that she's lost her use. She's lost her usability as more and more dominant monsters continue to enter the game. Linworm, by the way, has also 57 uses. He's mostly used on offense, as you can see right here. 40 on offense. So take a look at this. If we're only looking at offense, Linworm is used almost as much as Shelly. Shelly with 41, Linworm at 40. Keep in mind that Linworm is super versatile. He can churn transfer into your main monster. I use my Linworm to churn transfer into Fontbead Austral most of the time, and she basically has like 8 attacks in a row since she has her Mr. Beast pattern to recharge. You can churn transfer into a dominant legendary. I'm pretty sure in the stragglers we're going to see some OP legendaries, some Lord Pump Seeds, some Thalassas. Madam Fusion, I don't think I saw last time, but yeah, that's always interesting. So yeah, these are top 4 monsters, and #5, it's probably going to be Tabora. Yeah, there it is, Tabora. Tabora at 19 and 16, and 35 in total. Oh, I'm surprised we're not seeing Super Fox. Hardy is at 6 and mostly on defense. Yeah, that's right. Hardy, pain in the butt if he's on defense, especially with Megaton monster. And then at the very bottom, I kind of unfortunately saw it, but that's Crowdcrawler. So Crowdcrawler is at 8 and 27. So I do predict this monster is going to be up here. in a matter of time. Again, Bomb Beta, the biggest reason players use Bomb Beta for defense, they like to say, is warming light. I don't think that's a good enough reason, because I don't know about you guys, but from my personal experience, from an offensive point of view, I never have to worry about Bomb Beta getting a skill in. Bomb Beta will typically run life, 1 single life, 2 team speed, maybe 3 team speed. Bomb Beta goes last in the turn order. Sometimes I overlap Bomb Beta to where I can easily transform Bomb Beta into a baby. I can kill Bomb Beta with dots. I can apply enough dots so when Bomb Beta goes, it dies. Like, Bomb Beta, even though it can cleanse from a defensive point of view, has never been a problem. From an offensive point of view, I can see it because you're in control. You can cleanse and everything. But from a defensive point of view, I really don't think Bomb Beta is that much of a threat. Shelly being able to resurrect is a threat. And this guy right here, being able to freeze, being able to, I think, Mega Freeze, right? Being able to reapply that taunts, being able to drain 20% of your life, I think he's a big threat. So I definitely see him increasing more for Cosmic Tournament 13. I definitely see Cryo Crawler going up, probably joining the Heavies over here. And then the top 5 monster will probably be dominated by Megatons. Down here we have Lord Platypus. So Lord Platypus is becoming pretty dominant. I actually didn't think he would. 12 on offense, 9 on defense, and 21 in total. Very interesting. All right, let's scroll down and let's see. Notice we don't have a Pierce monster yet. We don't have Thanos. So I wonder if Super Fox is going to be more so used than Thanos or not. We still have Kodama, OG monsters right here, and still being used mostly on offensive purposes, 7 on defense. We have Chucklemuckle, so Anticipation, free-to-play Anticipation, making her way onto the mids. We have Thanos at 11 for offense, 4 on defense, so the Pierce defense build looks like it is losing popularity. Warmaster Thalassa, 12 on offense, just goes to show you how overpowered she is. 12 on offense, all probably paired with that Linworm. Wow, was Super Fox not released, or is she just not used that much? Maybe just players haven't had time to rank her up. Masher's actually, I don't think I've seen Masher much. He's actually making a comeback. 4 on offense. Remember, he can turn transfer, he can also corrupt. Also used on defense as well. Daedalus, our Megaton mythic monster, still hanging on in there. 2 and 9, total of 11, so tied with that of Masher. Less than a legendary. Ah, there is Super Fox. Super Fox is used 9 times on offense, 1 on defense. Alright, Super Fox, let's compare you to Thanos, who is 11 and 4. Honestly, guys, keep in mind, Thanos is literally the first Cosmic that was released. The first paywall Cosmic, so he's been around a long time. Players have him ranked up. Super Fox, I'm pretty sure by the end of Cosmic 13, players are going to rank up Super Fox. Well, let's look at the top 4 monsters. Shelly, Fontbead Austral, and Linworm. Yeah, the Bomb Beta is light, but the 3 of the top 5 monsters are dark, so you have an elemental advantage. If anyone ever has a Shelly, Fontbead Austral, and Linworm on defense, I guarantee you, your Super Fox and probably OTK Linworm, OTK Fontbead Austral with the AoE skill, severely damage Shelly, and you don't have to worry about getting damage mirrored by Shelly. You don't have to worry about, like, maybe Linworm does time skirt and has evasion. You pierce right through it. So it doesn't matter if Shelly sets a Megaton, 100% damage mirror and all that. You pierce through it. And Super Fox is interesting in that she can reapply Pierce with her attacks, so she basically has infinite Pierce. The main attack she has, she always has Pierce, so I definitely see her going up. So I see Cryo Crawler doing a huge jump at the end of the next mid-season or the end of the next Cosmic Tournament, and I see Super Fox making a big jump as well. We have Aurobot, who's basically like Tabora, like Kodama. We have Ignis still being used mostly for offensive for his support. We have Rosulka, so already Super Fox came in and kicked Rosulka out. She's mostly used for offense. We have Grakon still being used, 7. We have Rotten mostly for defense. Honestly, I rarely ever fight a Rotten, maybe like once per Cosmic Tournament. We have Witchcat being used. We have Solar Flare being used, the top monster. We have Warmaster Elvira being used for defense, probably Elvira Neobuki teams, how annoying, or probably even Targon. We have Armaclaw still hanging on there for 3 offense, 1 defense. We have Roddy hanging in there as well. We have Kai the Sunmelter. Honestly, not a big fan of Kai. Looks cool and all, but usability-wise, I don't see it. We have Siamese 2 and 1, probably for those that don't have Aurobot, or, I mean, I'd imagine the top 100 have Aurobot and Kodama, so I don't know, maybe they just like using Siamese more, her increased accuracy. Neobuki 3 on defense. Didn't I say that Elvira, Neobuki most likely? And I'm guaranteed we're going to see a Targon down there. Alright, we have Wormlad. Hey, we have Madame Fusion back at 3. Noah at 3. Ophiuchus at 2. Henrich at 2, probably combined with Tabora's. We have Black Feather. We have Santarion at 1. We have Digal. We have Daedalus. We have Ferris. Is someone using Steam Wrath and Ferris combo? We have Undead Mr. Beast. We have Zorky, probably to to give triple damage to Super Fox, to Rusulka, or to Vanoss. We have Laser Beam. There's the Steamwrath Ferris combo right there. We have Moon Haze, Brutalis, Chimney, very interesting on defense. Blaz, Lights Mare, maybe to take on the Shellys. Robo Alf, or if anything, maybe they were just testing out some monsters. Lonrad, Miseris, Ragnarok, Renata, Lupin. You know, Lupin is actually interesting. He is the fastest turn transfer monster in the game. I've actually recently started using him more than my Linworm, so I don't know, I like him. I'm surprised. Ooh, what did I do? He makes it out. We have Cybrow, Old Mythic, Ingvar's Pet. Who are these monsters? Hornet, Vastas, Pierce Monster, and with that being said, that is the end of it. So no Heyman making it to the top 100 this time. You know what? I'm also going to say that I predict the Dew is probably going to be a top 5 monster. So probably by the end of the mid-season, will players have the Dew? They might not have the Dew. I think by the end of the mid-season, the Dew will probably be in the mids category. Or since it's the top 100, he might even be in the toughies category. Because the Dew is like a better Tabora in the sense that it can remove Megatons and then trade Disable. So I think because of the introduction of the Dew, we might see a change. So I predict Crawler being higher, I predict Super Fox being higher, and I predict the Dew also making an impact. And who knows, maybe even the team race monster, maybe players, even though you freeze your own team, you know, you can run Crowd Crawler, you can use Nahane, and you can use the Dew, and then your team wouldn't get frozen. So maybe we can even see Nahane like up here. So instead of players relying on Kodama for CDA and Aurobot for CDA, maybe we'll see some Mega Possession. So maybe Nahane could even become a mid or something. So we'll see what happens. So once again, a huge shout out to Monster Legends Competitive Wiki because I absolutely love looking at the data of the top 100. This is always one of my favorite things to do. So I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about the most used monster? Were you surprised? Do you think there's going to be any changes? Oh yeah, answer that. What changes do you think are going to happen by the end of the next Cosmic Tournament? Super curious to hear you guys' thoughts. Thank you guys very much. Once again, I will leave a link to Monster Legends Competitive Wiki if you want to join along and follow along these interesting data points. With that being said, I'm Warmaster Gaming. Thank you all for watching and remember to subscribe.